Hello everyone, and welcome to today's tarot reading. We're starting with the topic of the reading in the center, which starts with this card that says it is safe to be in my body, which is regarding grounding your energy. We have the Four of Wands in reverse, and this is speaking to how what should be this beautiful celebration of belonging and homecoming, we haven't quite fully come home to our bodies, grounding our energy. There's still work that needs to be done. And this Page of Pentacles is a hopeful clarifier to this Four of Wands in reverse, which says the way to ground our energy and to feel safe in our bodies, to come home to ourselves, to celebrate ourselves, is to tend to our bodies like a garden, like a new garden. With daily practices, and just think of a way that you can start. So we're going to go to past experiences with feeling safe in our bodies, and the thematic card regarding the past is the Star card, which points to this divine, primeval, primitive memory that we had within ourselves of what it is to be fully safe and grounded in our luminous, wonderful bodies without shame or suffering. And then we come to the Ten of Cups, where again this reflects part of the Star card. We have a memory that is ingrained within us of feeling safe and whole and emotionally fulfilled within our bodies. And then these are all in the past positions. I'm thinking the Star card and the Ten of Cups are very, very far in the past, like even as a child, as a baby, being held, just something within our soul. And then with the Seven of Wands reversed, this is a time when we were not able to protect ourselves, and we had to let down our guard. Perhaps we chose to, perhaps we had to, but for whatever reason, this was a collapse of our own defenses of our own body, whether it be a health crisis or something along those lines. We were not able to protect ourselves and were vulnerable. And then it looks like being clarified by the Devil card that, this devil energy of codependence, of like a bad habit, a bad structure, an untrustworthy person, program, institution, came in at this time that we were weak and vulnerable and not protected. And being then followed by the Knight of Pentacles, we are coming from this glorious and totally whole place and rebuilding from this challenging event. The Knight of Pentacles shows, and it's interesting because we started out with the Page of Pentacles also helping to rebuild from the overall theme of the Four of Wands and not feeling completely comfortable and at home in our bodies. This past situation is summarized or summed up with the Knight of Pentacles, which basically means that, slowly but surely, we're getting stronger and we're building back, this beautiful God-given original safety that we had in our bodies. The overall theme of our future feeling of safety in our body is overall the theme of the World card in reverse, clarified by the Five of Cups. So unpacking this, the World in reverse speaks to the fact that, becoming fully incorporated and present and healed within our body is generational work. It's not a one and done type of thing. This is going to be something that we work on. And this Five of Cups, clarifying this, reveals that part of how this comes to a close, this cycle comes to a close, is by fully allowing ourselves to grieve what was lost, to grieve what happened here, to grieve the fact of this. Sometimes even as spiritual people, we tend to push through this part. We tend to push through the grief. And another big message of the Five of Cups is the fact that even while feeling the grief, there are these two cups that remain. That's something to build on. That's something to embrace when this has been fully cleansed, or just when this is a state of allowing yourself to feel, to grieve what's happening, when you're disappointed and you're sad that, there was something that ruined this for you for a time, and part of the healing is to grieve and then to embrace the two cups, to let the Page and the Knight of Pentacles do their healing. So the future is not simple. The future is part of this shadow work, this grieving, this healing, to bring this cycle to a close. I want to revisit this Star card that was in your past. And I want you to realize that this is a whisper of the divine, that this piece belongs to you. This belongs to you. This is your birthright. I want these two cards in the future position. I want you to think this affirmation: I allow my grief to guide me home to myself. Even in the unfinished, I am sacred. So healing this future of being safe in the temple of your own being. In the future, all of this is our future stories with this. And we get the Four of Cups, which shows that there are things that you have numbed within yourself, or have, through no conscious choice of your own, become numb in order for you to move on and do the daily things you have to do with life. But right here is the Fourth Cup, is Spirit extending their hand to this woman. And it's indicative of how Spirit is always reaching out to us, even when we don't necessarily feel it. Her shirt says over it. So in the future, you may find yourself in this position where you do feel numb, and it's just important to remember Spirit is always outstretching its arm to you, and a cup, if you're able to think of that and remember it. So when you feel numb, remember that spirit's reaching out to you. So in the future, it looks like you're going to have a test again by this devil that was also in the past that came in after you were vulnerable. He's showing up again in the future. And so, I mean, this shows all the things that could mean. So, you know, the devil always comes in when we're about to close out a cycle. So I'm hoping that, you know, this final test is, you know, when it does happen again, remember, you're completing a cycle. And so conquer that devil. The card after the devil is the Empress in reverse, and this is a classic sign that you need to mother yourself. You in the future, you're definitely going to be in a state of being undermothered, badly mothered, you know, and you're going to have to fulfill that role for yourself, learn to nurture yourself. And again, in the future position, we have the Lovers in reverse. So with the Empress in reverse and the Mothers in reverse, you know, this is really speaking to the fact that Spirit is wanting you to really this looks like codependency. This really looks like your safety in the body has really hinged on, you know, this being chosen, this being nurtured by another person. And I believe the challenge from Spirit is, you know, grieve. You know, go ahead and grieve the fact that these relationships that you were looking to feel this safety in the body, you know, it's go ahead and just grieve. And a lot of times after we have grieved, we do kind of feel numb. But instead of turning to this devil energy, like, mother yourself and love yourself. Be that mother energy you need. Be that lover energy you need. Learn to mother yourself softly, kindly, and without judgment. Become the Empress for yourself. Choose yourself and love yourself. And let's let the affirmation of this reading be, I will no longer abandon myself to belong to others. I choose to mother myself home. I grieve, I feel, I rise, safe in the temple of my own being. Thank you. Be blessed.